The wind came low and hot off the plains, thick with dust and the scent of burnt sagebrush. It moaned across the Caldwell ranch like a dying breath, slipping through warped planks and hollow rooms that hadn't heard laughter in a long, long time. Martha Caldwell was buried under the cottonwood, in a pine box Sam built himself. The ground was still fresh, a pale scar in the wild earth. No pastor, no neighbors, just Sam, a shovel, and a sky wide enough to drown in. He never cried. Cattle needed tending, fences mended. Life went on, even after it stopped. Samuel Caldwell, once the biggest cattle baron this side of the Brazos, had built his empire with blood, grit, and unshakable silence. Folks feared him more than they respected him, but he didn't care. Respect don't brand a calf or shoot a rustler. He was 42, built like a rock formation, and meaner than a rattler with a broke fang. The kind of man who didn't ask for help and didn't expect it. But the house, God help him. The house was a tomb, dishes stacked like monuments, floorboards stiff with dust. His late wife's apron still hung by the hearth, as if she'd come back and finish supper one day. She never would. So one day, he rode into Elkins, tacked a note to the post outside the general store, and left without a word. Cook wanted. Room and board, widow preferred. No questions. He figured some bent old woman would answer. Someone with no teeth and more ghosts than he had. Instead, he got Nora Harper. She stepped off the noon stage with a battered carpetbag and a young boy gripping her hand. Her dress was sun-bleached, her boots cracked, and her expression carved from stone. There was something in her eyes like she'd seen too much, and still wasn't done seeing it. I'm here about the cookin', she said, her voice flat as a mesa. Sam looked her over. Tall, lean, maybe 30. Skin weathered but not weak. The boy 6, maybe 7, stared at him with suspicion, like a pup that had been kicked too many times. You a widow? Sam asked. Was once, she said. Ain't now. He squinted. That a joke? She shrugged. He ain't dead, but he don't get a say no more. Sam almost turned her away. Almost. But she didn't look down when he stared her over. She didn't flinch, didn't beg, didn't smile, just waited. Rooms out back, he said. You and the boy can have the quarters behind the kitchen. Don't stir a man's bed, she said. Didn't ask you to. That was that. By sundown, the kitchen smelled like stew and fresh biscuits. The hearth cracked to life. Jamie the boy watched the flames with wide, quiet eyes. Sam sat at the table, chewing slowly, thinking how long it had been since food had taste. Nora didn't eat, just cleaned the stove and scrubbed the sink until her hands turned red. She didn't ask questions. Didn't say much at all. But when Sam passed her on his way to the porch, he paused. You cook like you're trying to forget something, he said. She didn't turn. Ain't cookin', just surviving. Outside, the moon rose pale over the range. Coyotes called from the hills. Far from the ranch house, deep in the brush beyond the buttes, a man crouched by a dying fire, turning something over in his hand. A crumpled poster. A woman's name scrawled at the bottom. Nora Harper. His smile was all teeth. The wind changed that week, drier, sharper, and carrying with it something unspoken. It ruffled the tall grass, whispered through fence posts, and crept beneath the ranch house's eaves like a warning trying to find its voice. Sam Caldwell noticed. He always did. He saw it in Nora's eyes when she thought no one was looking, the way she scanned the tree line before stepping out, how her hand lingered near the knife drawer a second too long. Jamie, too, had stopped laughing. The boy stuck to the shadows like he knew light could draw fire. Sam didn't ask not yet, but his instincts were honed sharper than a Bowie blade. Trouble was coming. and it had her scent. Nora worked like someone who couldn't afford to rest. She scrubbed the wood till it shone, chopped onions with the precision of a gunsmith, and stitched Sam's worn shirts by the firelight, while Jamie slept curled at her feet. Sam watched her more than he meant to, not like a man watches a woman. Like a man watching a mystery he wasn't sure he wanted solved. One night, under a heavy sky, he found her out by the barn with a lantern. She wasn't doing chores, just standing still. You waiting on something? He asked, voice low. She didn't turn. No, just listening. Men always make noise before they strike. You, expecting someone? Now, she turned. Her face was hard, but her eyes her eyes held grief the color of old bruises. He won't stop looking, she said. He'll come for me, for Jamie. He thinks we still belong to him. Who? Sam asked. She didn't answer. Just walked past him into the dark dot. 2 days later. Marshal Dillard rode in. He was a broad-shouldered lawman with a limp and a mustache yellowed by too much tobacco. Dropped from the saddle with a grunt and handed Sam a folded poster. Wanted Buck Rollins, assault, desertion, robbery, attempted murder, reward, $200. Alive. Sam unfolded it slowly. The sketch was rough, but the jawline was sharp, and a long scar curved like a river beneath one eye. Heard he was sniffing around over past Mesquite Ridge. Dillard said, lighting a rollerone slipped away before we got there. What's it to me? He's looking for someone. Dillard narrowed his eyes. Travelin' with a woman and a boy, maybe. Sam's jaw tensed. You think he's headed this way? The marshal didn't answer directly, just spat in the dirt. You see him, you send word, or put him in the ground. Either earns you the bounty. By nightfall, Sam had doubled the patrol around his fence, cleaned every rifle, nailed the barn door shut tight. He didn't say a word to Nora. Didn't have to. She came to him that evening as the last light fled the hills. You saw the poster, she said. He nodded once. Buck Rollins, she muttered, like it tasted bad. He weren't always like that. Used to bring me flowers, then fists, then fire. What did he do to the boy? She didn't answer. But Sam understood. You figure he'll come here. I know he will. Sam looked out into the dusk. The prairie rolled on, endless and empty. But the silence had a pulse now, something far off, drawing closer. You'll stay in the house, he said. Keep the boy close. You hear any noise outside after dark you shoot. No warning. Nora nodded. You sure about this, Caldwell? That man's not just mean, he's smart and cruel. Sam's voice dropped. Gravel grinding against gravel. So am I. That night, a fire burned out beyond the ridge. Small, distant, but steady. Next morning, Jamie found a boot print by the barn. It pointed toward the house. The third night came thick with silence. Not the peaceful kind, but a tight, heavy hush. Like the land itself was holding its breath. Sam stood on the porch with his Winchester balanced across his knees. Oil lamp burning low behind him. Every so often, he'd catch a shape in the distance, a brush twitching wrong, a shadow that didn't belong. Then nothing. Inside. Nora and Jamie huddled near the root cellar hatch. The boy clutched a tin soldier to his chest. Nora held the shotgun across her lap, finger resting just outside the trigger guard. Promise me, she whispered. If something happens, you run and don't stop. Jamie shook his head. What about you? I've been running a long time, she said. Might be time I stopped. A coyote howled from the ridge. Then came the crunch. Bootsteps on gravel. Sam was already up. Rifle raised. 3 riders broke from the tree line like ghosts out of the dark. Buck Rollins in the middle, grinning like he owned the night. His hat was low, scarf pulled high, but the moon caught the scar under his left eye. That crooked smile hadn't changed. Evenin', Caldwell, he called out, voice lazy as syrup. You got something belongs to me. Sam's voice came calm. Only thing here belongs to me is this land, and the quiet. Don't make me break both. Buck laughed, swinging off his horse, boots hitting the dirt like war drums. That woman in there, she's mine, so's the brat. She ran, sure. But I didn't give her leave. Sam didn't move. She ain't yours, and never was. Now take your boys and ride off while your blood's still inside you. The 2 others dismounted, hands hovering near their belts. Buck squinted. You think you can stand between me and what's mine? Sam raised his rifle. I don't think, I know. The first shot came from the right too fast, too wide. Sam dropped behind the trough as splinters flew. He rolled, aimed, and fired once. The man yelped and fell, legs shattered. Gunfire cracked through the dark like lightning made of lead. Inside, Nora heard it and shoved Jamie into the cellar. Don't come out till I do, she said. Then she climbed the stairs, eyes blazing. Buck charged the porch just as Nora stepped into the doorway, shotgun in hand. He stopped short, shocked for a breath. Nora, he hissed. Put that down. Her voice shook, but not with fear. You come any closer, and I'll blow a hole clean through your damn soul. You wouldn't dare, he sneered. Behind him, Sam grunted. His shoulder had taken a hit, but he still stood, rifle held firm. Try her. Buck turned too slow. The butt of Sam's Winchester cracked against his temple. He stumbled, fell to one knee, cursing like the devil's drunk uncle. The last outlaw rushed forward. Nora fired. The blast lit the porch in orange fire and smoke. The man dropped mid-step dead before he hit the ground. Buck scrambled, blood running down his face. You crazy. Don't speak my name, she snapped. You gave that up when you raised your hand to me. Sam aimed the rifle at Buck's chest, but Nora stopped him. No, she said, voice flat as tombstone etchings. Let me end it. Buck's eyes widened as she stepped closer. You think I won't? She asked. His mouth moved. No words came. The second shot came quieter, closer. The barrel smoked. Buck didn't move again. Sam exhaled, slow and heavy. Behind them, the wind picked up. Dawn crept slow over the plains, bleeding gold across the broken horizon. The earth still smoked, where blood had soaked into the dust. Gunpowder lingered like bitter perfume, curling in the quiet air. Sam Caldwell sat on the edge of the porch, his shirt stained dark across the shoulder where a bullet had grazed him. One hand cradled his rifle. The other nursed a cup of coffee gone cold. He stared out at the ridge, where shadows once moved, but no longer did. A man could get used to silence, but not this kind. Behind him, the door creaked open. Nora stepped out barefoot, hair tied back, sleeves rolled up. Her shotgun had been cleaned and leaned quietly by the door. Her eyes, though tired, no longer darted. They held weight, yes, but not fear. He's buried out past the cottonwood, she said. Sam didn't speak. Didn't say a word, even at the end, she added. Cowards die quiet. Still he said nothing. She settled beside him, careful with the steps. Her skirt brushed his knee. For a long time, they watched the wind comb through the tall grass. You mad I killed him? She asked, voice low. No, he said. Just sorry you had to. She nodded, as if that answer had been waiting. You could have let me run? She whispered. Could have, he replied. Didn't want to. Asterisk, they sat in that stillness until Jamie pushed open the door behind them, blinking against the morning light. Asterisk, is it over? He asked. Asterisk, Sam looked back at him. Yeah, son, it's over. Asterisk, Jamie stepped into the sunlight, barefoot like his mother, and crossed the porch to sit beside Sam. He didn't speak, just leaned against the big man's good arm, like roots finding soil. Sam didn't flinch. He let the boy stay. Asterisk, Marshall. Dillard rode in that afternoon, drawn by the gunshots folks claimed they didn't hear. He found 3 bodies in the dust, and a barn door riddled with holes. Asterisk, Sam gave him the story. Short, clean, no embellishments. Asterisk, Dillard listened. Then he looked at Nora. Asterisk, you're sure it was self-defense? Asterisk, she didn't blink. You ever seen Buck Rollins smile before he hit someone? Asterisk, the marshal scratched his mustache, spat, and dropped the matter. Asterisk, reward's yours, he said, handing Sam an envelope. Ain't often justice gets done clean in these parts. Asterisk, after he left, Sam tossed the envelope onto the kitchen table like it meant nothing. Money had never brought peace to this house. Asterisk, but later that night, with Jamie asleep and the wind soft against the window, Nora found Sam in the barn, fixing a broken hinge. Asterisk, you always working? She asked. Asterisk, things fall apart if you don't, he muttered, tightening a bolt. Asterisk, she leaned against the post, watching him. You never told me what happened to your wife, she said gently. Sam set the wrench down. She died birthing a child that didn't make it. Nora didn't speak. After that, he continued, I figured maybe God was done with me. Left me out here to rot with the cattle. Asterisk, you ain't rotting, she said. You're just waiting on something to grow again. He turned to her slowly, eyes tired but not dead. You gonna plant roots here, Nora? Asterisk, she smiled faintly. If you'll have me? Asterisk, I already do. Asterisk, that night, no gun rested by the door. No watch was kept. The house, once a tomb, breathed again. In the days that followed, Jamie helped rebuild the barn. Nora planted wildflowers by the cottonwood, where 2 graves now rested, one for Martha, one for the ghost who'd haunted them all. Asterisk, no wedding was held, no preacher summoned. But coffee was poured for 2 each morning, and 3 chairs waited at the supper table. Asterisk, and every evening, Sam sat on the porch with Jamie and Nora beside him, the sun slipping behind the hills, the sky bleeding into gold. Asterisk, out there on the endless prairie, peace wasn't loud. It didn't announce itself. It just settled in quiet, like dust.